Okay. Hello, everybody, and thank you again for joining us for another episode of Sadie and Shawn Have No Friends. We have so much to talk about today. But before we get started, I want to talk to you about Cristiana Salon and Spa. I'm working with them right now because my niece is getting married, so we're putting together a little party. If you're thinking of doing something like that, or maybe it's just you, and by God, you just need a baroque, then all you have to do is just tell them Sadie and Shawn Have No Friends. You'll get 10% off your treatment. Shawn, what do you think
I'm
of that?
working well, I'm working with them right now too
Because
because
of the butthole
no,
waxing?
not what
You're
I'm
not
working
going to
on.
do it. I knew you'd chicken out. I
No, that's
knew
not it. No, they
what?
haven't said a word to me about that, by the way. Only you have said anything. I talked to Colt earlier today, who's the owner's husband, and he mentioned nothing about waxing my butthole. And you would think that if he was planning on waxing my butthole, that would be a topic of conversation.
I don't know. What I do know is I did talk to Chris Theone yesterday, and the butthole-a-thon is on. That's the name we came up with. I'm just kidding. I came up with that. The butthole-a-thon. And we've agreed on a few things, Shawn and I, like there will be no studio audience allowed. That was his call. There will be no one else allowed in the room except for me standing up at the top.
No, you're not you. That's a camera on a
Who's recording?
tripod. It's a
I
camera on
can't
a tripod.
record what's going on. It's probably for the best because I'm one
You
of
can
those people
watch
that
the
records and halfway through it just slowly starts moving
Yeah, I
away
know
from.
exactly how you are. There's a reason that you're not allowed.
Okay, so that's fine. I'll be waiting outside the room, but this is going to
Anyway,
be an exciting adventure. Also, I have 2 guests lined up for our interview series. I'm pretty excited about. I'm not going to tell you about them yet, but you'll be able to listen on the podcast. It's an hour-long series each month where we talk to somebody incredibly interesting to us, like people who work at morgues or people
you're giving it
who
away right now. You weren't going to tell, and now you're
no,
telling.
that's shut up, dummy. I'm
You're the
trying
one
to
saying it.
okay, it's somebody that works with dead people. That's going to be the first episode because I have so many questions about the great beyond and about what happens when you actually kick the bucket. Because I don't think we've ever had it answered whether you poop your pants or not. And we're finally going to get down to answers. We're like 60 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's going to be fun. You didn't let me tell you what I'm working with Cristiana Salon about.
Oh, okay. Other than the butthole waxing, go.
Yeah, they're having a party coming up soon, and they're
I
trying to get
know.
me to come.
I
I
know.
It's 2 hours one way from my house to that,
Well,
and
I'm going to
so
be there. I'm going to be there
well,
myself.
that's cool. No one cares about that.
Oh,
I'm
you
just kidding. No,
peckerhead.
that's very nice. I am trying to come too, but I'm gonna need my expenses paid.
Well, how about this?
Gas is expensive these days.
Oh my God, are you asking me for money?
Not you. They want me
Are
at their
you?
party.
Oh my God, they're the sponsor of our
Oh yeah.
podcast. You son of a bitch.
I trade out for services.
Listen, you're going to drive 2 hours for the best butthole wax you've ever
No, I'm not
experienced
doing
in your
it
life.
then. I'm not doing it at an open house party.
I
But
have a
what I'm
feeling you're
getting at here
getting out.
what I'm getting at here is maybe you were planning on this at some point, but are we inviting people to come to this, or are we just going to hang out with ourselves?
No, we're going, but it's an open house.
Well, it's coming up
So
soon, so we should tell
oh,
people it's
well,
on
we're
the
telling
18th of
people,
May.
yeah. It's coming up on the 18th, which I will be there. Apparently, no one gives a shit about that, but it's on the 18th. It's a
Will
big
there be
open
hot
house.
dogs?
There's going to be food.
Hot
There's
dogs.
going to be drinks.
Hot
There's
dogs.
going to Shawn there. I don't think they're going to serve hot dogs. It's a little more classy than that. But it's an open house where you can come and check out what they do at Cristiana Salon and Spa. And also, Shawn might be there, which
Or
is a
might.
big ass draw. I mean, damn.
You want the people? You got to get the guy.
You are who are you?
I'm just kidding. I
You know
haven't
you're
been up
not.
that direction for a little while though, and so it'd be fun to see everybody. If I do come up, if I plan to come up, it would be nice if everybody comes, like all the people that listen to the
Oh,
podcast.
is that like a Shawn endorsement? Is that how you in the big city ask people to come to an event?
Yeah, just
Just kind
basically.
of?
Well, it kind of leads me to thanking a couple of people that have been listening nonstop. My buddy Travis, he wrote me the other day and he said he took me to a fire. Yes, he took us, I should say. I'm being
Oh,
selfish.
okay.
He took us to a fire. He's a
It's Shawn, it's
firefighter.
not always about you.
He took us to a fire
Yeah.
He was listening to us on the fire truck
Oh,
as we went through a
wow.
fire,
Did
and
they survive?
I didn't ask any questions. I was just
This
honored
is
because
what's
I went
wrong
to
with you.
firefighting school early on, and I never made it, and so this was my only hope of ever going to a fire, so it was pretty cool that he took me
They're like,
along.
"Sean, you have to run towards the fire," and he's like, "No, no, I'm gonna run the other way," again and again until they just kicked him out of firefighter school.
Hey, I never got burned. And then also, a guy named Kiri. Kiri is a good buddy of mine, and he wrote me as well, and he says he listens to us every single day while he's at the
Oh,
gym, and then he proceeded to send me a picture of him
of
without a
his
shirt on,
wiener.
and
Oh!
no, I don't get very many pictures of dudes without their shirts on, so Kiri,
That's
thank
a
you for that.
lot.
That was hot. He's got, like, an 8-pack, and he told me he can teach me how to get one.
Yes, thank you so much, Sean. You are the most wanted man in the United States of America.
Why am I wanted? I'm
Because
not
I see
wanted
you
for any.
getting hit
Yeah,
on, and
Kiri
you're
was
like,
not hitting on me.
and then
I
he
know
sent
Kiri's
me a
wife.
picture.
I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, you.
I know he has a wife. He was just showing me that he's been working really hard at the gym, and he, thanks to us and this great podcast, has achieved a 6-pack, almost an 8-pack.
So kind of in a trickle down effect, we have 6 packs and 8 packs.
Well, we gave it to him basically.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So be sure, and I have to mention that yesterday, if you were hoping to watch the video, which I did get some messages, that there was a copyright infringement. I pull shit just out of nowhere. And I know that you probably have to do it a certain way, but I'm learning as I go, folks. And so yesterday's episode, we're working on to find out what the copyright infringement was so I could just cut that out and we
It
could
was
post
all
it
the
back.
clips that Netflix owns of the Tom Brady roast. I bet that was probably it.
That was
Netflix is
probably
probably gonna
it.
send you a bill too, so be
Well,
prepared for that.
okay, listen, I oh God, now I'm scared. Have you been sued for copyright?
I've been cease and desist many times,
Okay. I don't think
mostly
they
for
just
pictures.
jump to sue you.
No,
I
they
mean,
don't.
that's
It's
ridiculous.
all, no one wants to, because you know this.
Right?
You've been dealing with a situation that we won't talk about, but going to court and dealing with lawyers and stuff is expensive.
Oh,
No one wants to do that. So everybody threatens, and they threaten, and then you realize how much it is to fight the threat, and you're just like, all right, fine, I'll take down the picture or the post.
yeah. Unless you truly believe in what you're going to court for.
Do you want to talk about something? You have something you want
No.
to get off your chest?
No, I just
I
love
did see,
awkward
hold on though.
silence with
I
you.
speaking, I was not gonna bring this up, but I gotta find it real
What?
fast because I don't wanna say it wrong, because this upset me. But speaking
What?
of lawsuits, this is my favorite ice cream. It says this:
Oh
Cold Stone
God.
Cold Stone Creamery is facing a class action lawsuit because their pistachio ice cream isn't actually made with pistachios. They use pistachio flavoring instead. This is a real story from a website called The Guardian. That ice cream is so good. It doesn't even taste like pistachios. If I eat a handful of pistachios, they taste like shit, and the purple gets me turned off. I hate, like, the
Oh, like
purple on
it's
the nuts, and
okay.
so I hate pistachios, but pistachio ice cream actually tastes like almond flavor, and it's so good. And now what they'll probably do is
Is
they'll
that what
probably
you get
say,
when you go to
"Oh,
Cold
dude,
Stone?
they don't always have it, but when they have it, you should get it." It's always in one of the smaller pans because no one ever gets, who wants pistachio ice cream? And one day I was just like, "I'll try that." And I tried it and I was like, "Oh, it's so good." And now some bitch is suing them because they don't put pistachios in their pistachio ice cream, and they'll probably lose, and they'll probably discontinue the flavor, and that pisses me off.
Yeah, well, but also, wouldn't it also be like an allergy thing? Like,
She's suing them because they're not in there.
I know, but like maybe for years she went out and she wanted pistachio ice cream, but she was like, no, I can't because I'm terribly allergic to nuts. And then she finds out they're not real nuts and she's wasted like 10 years of her life. How'd you feel about that, Sean?
I'd be like, "Give me all the pistachio ice cream right now." And I bet Cold Stone at this point, like we just talked about, they don't wanna go to court, so they'd probably
No.
be like, "Here, we'll send you a pan of free pistachio ice cream for the rest of life. Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, but I think this woman probably isn't really looking for pistachio money, much like my court lawsuit. They're looking for a payday, folks. So that's all. That's pretty ridiculous, and I'd like to apologize that that's happening to you.
I'd like to apologize that that's happening to you too. You seem like a bitter woman.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, good. Moving on.
What's your list that you wanted to
Oh, you want to do the
do?
list today?
Well, you know what? No, let me tell you that I just drove Ryan and Murphy to the airport for the weekend, and I am home alone. I am home alone.
I'll post Sadie's address in just a little while, guys.
I am that lonesome. I am home alone all weekend long. All weekend long. And I've got a few things here and there that I'd like to do, but I don't have like anything that's like do or die. You've got to do this now. And that feels like insanely exciting to me.
Cool story, bro.
So my question to you, Shawn, is what would you do if you had? I mean, but wait, you travel a lot, so you do get a lot of that alone time.
Yeah, but those weekends when I travel, they're always for work, and so there's always a lot of stuff to be done. I'll be real with you. Shannon listens to this, and she might get mad at me for saying this, but true story. I don't know that I've ever had a weekend where, at least not in a long, 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 long time, where she just like went away with the kids and it was just me home, nothing to do, just
I
sit and
do think that is
relax.
such a rarity. Like
Yeah.
I do think it is, and I think that I think it's like an important thing to be able to do to just like kind of be in silence. I love that. And you know what I'm going to do, Shawn? I am going to organize my kitchen drawers, listening to music that I want to listen to as loud as I want to. And I'm not going to worry about the thermometer, and I'm not going to worry about the mess that's is being made because Murphy's been quiet for the past 5 minutes, so something's going down.
Alexa ordered me a dollhouse and some cookies.
And it's just kind of one of those things where I don't even know what to do. I literally feel like I could sit in this chair until they come home Sunday, and for this to make sense, we're recording this on a Friday. I think I could just sit at a stair and stare at a wall quietly, no
Hmm.
one pulling on my arms, no one asking me for food.
Well,
Just
I hope you get to do that. I also hope you get to go to a really good concert on Saturday. So get yourself rested up.
Yeah, I know my sister texted me about that yesterday. She's like, "Oh, so now I'm buying a ticket to the show because Colt said there's only one ticket." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool." I wasn't going to say anything about that. I was going to be like, "Let's just get tickets." But yeah, your show is going to be at the Aggie Theater, which is one of my favorite places to go and see a show, and that's happening on Saturday night. So,
Ticket
look at me.
sales are going crazy right now too. So if you're listening to this in real time and you were thinking about going to this show in Fort Collins, you better act quick.
Are you telling me about buying the ticket?
Nah,
Are you going to put me on a list?
nah.
Are you shitting me right now?
You haven't asked me.
Because I think it should be kindly offered. Like
You
you're
sound a lot like
going.
my wife now.
That's the last thing you need, I guess. Okay, so tell me about this list that you have been going
Oh
on
yeah, I
about.
just found this list and I thought that this one was kind of cool. It's 10 things that were supposed to be the next big thing, but then they just vanished. And there's probably a lot of
Crystal
people.
Pepsi, Crystal Pepsi.
Let me see. Is Crystal Pepsi on here? No, but there's something very similar to Crystal Pepsi on this list.
Okay.
Because Crystal Pepsi came back recently, like within the last couple of years. What
Crystal
does it
Pepsi was so gnarly. It was
what does it taste
Pepsi,
like? I never tasted
very
it.
syrupy, very syrupy. It
But
tasted
like cola, or did it taste like Sprite? Because
No,
it
it
looked like
tasted no,
Sprite.
it tastes like cola. I
Ugh.
remember, and, but It's so syrupy. It was super gross and gnarly, but there was a big campaign around Crystal Pepsi where when it came out, I was like, I am excited about this. And then I remember my mom worked for a radio station for many years, and they did a thing with the radio station, and they brought in like cases and cases and cases of Crystal Pepsi. So for like an entire summer, that's all I drank because they were trying to get rid of the Crystal Pepsi and nobody wanted it, so my mom would bring it home, and I mean, I think I probably have radiation or uterine cancer or some shit because of that Crystal Pepsi. Now, I just wanna say I don't know what the laws are, but I don't wanna get sued for saying that, but, um,
Well, you don't have
yeah.
a uterus, so you can't have uterine cancer.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
Well, here's the things that are actually on the list. There's actually 16, but we'll do 11 only because 11 is New Coke.
Oh, okay. What's New Coke? What is
Well,
that?
so the story with New Coke, as I remember it, I wasn't around, but I watched a TV show about it, is they changed the recipe of Coke. I think it was in the 80s, could have been the 70s.
Mm,
They
mhm.
changed the recipe of Coke, and it wasn't like Crystal Pepsi where it was another option. They changed the recipe of Coke. It was changed, and then they put it out as New Coke, and you couldn't get the good Coke anymore. It was gone. And
Mm.
now some people look back and they were like, it was a big marketing stunt because New Coke tasted like shit. And of course, everybody wanted old Coke back and it caused demand. And so it only lasted a few months. They bring old Coke back and sales go crazy.
And did
So,
they call it Coca-Cola Classic? And that was
yeah,
how they got by, was they called it the Classic? And then
that's the old Coke. Yeah.
yeah, but isn't that how they rebranded after New Coke? Was
Yeah,
they were like,
maybe
"The Classic is coming back." Yeah,
that
okay,
could have
keep
been
going.
it. All right.
Keep going.
Anyway, I don't know. We're not cola historians. Number 10 is Theranos. Do you know what that is? Theranos?
No, what is that?
It says the company Elizabeth Holmes started that claimed it had developed some kind of special blood test technology where a small finger prick of blood
Oh,
could be analyzed, sent to
yes.
doctors, screen you for all kinds of conditions. Whatever it was, it turned out to be a fraud.
Yeah, and she had all these investors that, they did I think they did, like, a Hulu show about her, because she
Who
had
is
all
she?
these
Is
she
she a
is like a
celebrity?
scientist, doctor no, God, no. She's like a very smart woman, but and I might be butchering this, but from what I understand, she came up with this, like, groundbreaking medical test that you can do and a way to do it, and, investors were like, "This is the best," and then
Yeah, it
push
seems
comes to
smart.
shove, there what they she never was able to master it, so she just was taking the money to kind of, like, steal from Peter to pay Paul, hoping that she could tumble upon this and make it
Mhm.
work, and I think she just ran out of road.
I mean, I've went to a place before, and you went to this place too, where they take a blood thing and then they send it off to a lab and it tells you all the things that is wrong with you. So I don't
No,
know
that
why hers didn't work.
No, I think this is a lot more, like, in-depth, like, you are at risk for these things that, like, normal blood tests wouldn't be able to
Oh,
pick up, you know what I mean? I think that this I don't know, it was some sort of crazy health test that people were like, "This is going to, like, save so many people," and then, yeah, it turned out to be not so much.
all right. That was number 10. Number 9 is Olestra, the fat substitute.
Well, now that they got Ozempic, what the hell's Alextra or whatever, you
Olestra.
know? What does that do?
It says the fat all it says is the fat substitute. So to me, that means it's like an alternative to butter or something, maybe.
I've never even heard of that, but I have heard of Ozempic, so that should tell you something.
We know we've had a whole episode about Ozempic. It'll be on
Yeah.
one of these lists 10 years from now.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit
Exactly.
shit that killed people that they thought was really good for them back in the day. Ozempic,
But
number
damn, we
1.
had a good 10-year run, baby.
I
No, I've
mean, you lost
actually
a lot of weight. You
I've
lost 100 pounds, but you also lost 17 years off your life. Hope you
but you
enjoyed
looked
it.
hot those years. You know what? I don't take Ozempic. Again, I'm gonna say that, but no shame to anybody who does. But what's next on the list?
Number 8 is the Titanic, and then the tours down to see it.
Oh my god, yes, because once that one submarine, like, submerged upon itself, it was like, "Oh, hell no. No!
I didn't even know that was a thing until
No,
that happened. I didn't know you
Sean."
could take a tour in a submarine 3 miles into the ocean to see the Titanic.
Well, I mean, listen, it's super risky because you get that far down and the pressure is so insane, which is, I guess, what ended up taking these people out. And oh my God, I couldn't even have imagined wanting to do that. Like, obviously, I'm not an adventurer, but I could.
Sadie won't go to Target, but no one's surprised. Most people are surprised, I should say, that she didn't want to take a submarine 3 miles into the ocean.
That'd be weird if I was adverse to one, but totally cool. Like, yeah, I'll give the submarine a try. No, I think that with the submarine thing, that they had didn't they have to like sit in like a tin can size like
Yeah, it's
crisscross
very small.
applesauce for like hours to get to where they were
Yeah.
going? Right there, right then, no bathroom. You couldn't bring any little snacks on. I'd be out. I'd be like, I don't need to see the Titanic. That's another thing. Why can't people just look at pictures? Like, I have been to the Titanic exhibit in Las Vegas, and where they have like actual pieces from the ship and everything. It's
Yeah,
not like I
dishes
look
and
at them
stuff.
and go, okay, cool. Because I could go and look at another boat that hasn't crashed and I'd have the same reaction of, oh, it's a boat. Okay, there's some metal right there. So I don't get it. It's weird.
Yeah, but it's like going to the Grand Canyon. You can look at
I've
pictures of the
never
Grand
been.
Canyon all
I've
day. I haven't
never
either.
been.
I haven't either.
See, my parents and my sister and I all went to the Grand Canyon. And while they was checking out the sights and the donkeys and whatnot, I somehow got separated from them.
Ow! Hey, Dad, look, it's the good stuff. None of that pussy's skull.
But people want to go still. You can go look at every picture of every angle of the Grand Canyon you ever wanted, and people still go to visit it. There's something more intriguing about being there.
Or is it now something that is an expectation? Because I have been guilted before that Murphy, who at the age of 6 has not been to see Mount Rushmore. I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, why wouldn't you? It's not that far away, that far of a drive. I'm like, we're going to drive up where she's going to want to be on the iPad the entire drive.
Yeah.
And then we're going to pull up and we're going to get out and go, look at that. Look at those people carved into that mountain. And she's going to look up and go, uh-huh. I'm hungry. How long are we going to stay here? And it will, again, we will be Clark Griswold parents where Ryan will have a tear in his eye and I will think about America and she will be wanting to go back in the car to play Roblox again and eat her snack. And so,
Mount Rushmore, by the way, was one of the most disappointing things I've ever seen.
thank
It's
you.
just like, there's nothing else to do here. You see it's just like the picture, and you can't get that close either. So it's really far away, and that's it. Now you turn
What
around
is
and go
the
home.
deal? I don't even get it. I really do not get it. So I've never done those things. And I don't know, maybe I'm not an adventurer, but I can look at pictures of the Titanic. Damn, I could look at James Cameron. He put all the work in for us to make it see what it actually looked like. I don't even have to open a book. Anyway,
All
what's
right.
next?
Number 7, the 2-wheeled Segway personal transporter.
Well, I think people just kept getting hurt.
I don't know about that. I think that Paul Blart Mall Cop made those things uncool.
I would totally agree. Paul Blart made everything uncool in that movie. Yeah,
It's
that
such
was
a good movie.
obnoxious.
No, it's a good one.
No, it's not. I won't fight you on your Adam Sandler, but I'm going to stop you at Paul Blart Mall Cop and say we're not going any further there.
I never got to ride one of those things before they just vanished, which is kind of sad because they
They
look
kind of
fun.
became like an international
Yeah, where'd they go?
douchey like thing to ride around. I don't know. I think people again were embarrassed. Another thing, and this is something that Cooper had when he was young, was a hoverboard.
They're still around.
Are they still around?
Yeah.
Because I have to say that those were so fascinating and they still are to me. Children have no fear on those hoverboards to where adults are super wobbly because we're just thinking about the copay we're going to have to make on our broken wrist, trying. Oh,
I rode one in the living room of some of my in-laws one Christmas and put it through the wall and put my face into the floor, and it was not good. I just thought you could step on it and you just stepped on
say
it. But no, you
robot,
step on
go.
it. The way it works, if you've never been on one, is if you step on it and you step forward, that's what makes it go.
Yeah,
And
you
that's how I
lean
stepped on
forward
it.
to go
And it
and you
was
lean.
full. It was like stepping on the accelerator all the way. without knowing that it was going to go. So it went and I went and it was bad news.
So wait, your in-laws knew how it worked and they were just like, let that asshole go.
I didn't tell anybody I was going to get on it. I just got off. It was sitting there and I got a wild hair and got up and got on it and got off of it quick.
Oh, I love
Not good.
that.
All right, number 6, NFTs, particularly the digital photos that were going for big bucks. I never understood, and I still don't understand what an NFT is.
No, I don't know. That I'm done with that. That isn't
It's
that where you
buying
can
digital
buy
property.
art? Oh
It's
no,
buying digital property. So it's buying ownership. Like people could buy, I guess you could buy like the idea of owning this podcast. You could buy the idea of owning
I have a lot of
picture on the
ideas that
internet.
are currently for sale. Do I put those on Marketplace?
They're NFTs. They're for sale. Somewhere,
NFT for
somehow.
sale about how I feel about people at the grocery store on Saturday. For sale. Okay, next.
All right. Number 5 is Quibi. It was a streaming platform focusing on short form content.
Oh, isn't that QB?
Oh, is it Quibi? Okay.
I think it's just QB.
Quibi.
Yeah,
So it
yeah,
could
yeah.
be QB.
Yeah,
I've never heard of it.
it's like an app that kind of comes automatically if you buy a Roku TV, and it's where you can watch like Diagnosis Murder and shit. Like I don't know, it's not the top hanging fruit. It's pretty low. You're gonna get a few hours of Love Boat in there. Actually, that's pretty sweet. So I'm not gonna say anything bad about Tubi, but I'm just saying it's kind of like
It's
a
not
weird
Tubi, it's QB.
whatever.
It says it
QB.
focuses on short form content. I don't believe that the Love Boat was short form.
Well,
you're thinking of
listen,
the
if
wrong
you
thing.
fast forward through the captain talking to the bartender, talking to the daughter, and you get really down to the brass tacks of what's going on in the relationship, yeah, I'd say that could be easily a short story, Shawn. What's next?
Number 4 is HD DVD. It lost out to Blu-ray in the mid 2000s. Before that, there was Betamax.
And you know what's so depressing to me is, I don't know if I've told this before, but I used to be a member of the Disney Movie Club where every month when Sophie and Cooper were little, I got sent a DVD of the Disney movie of your choice every month. And I loved it. And I'm like, one day, my I'm so dumb. My great grandchildren will pop in this Jungle Book DVD and think of old Sadie, you know? Hell no. Nobody wants DVDs anymore. Nobody. They are like, you can't even find them anymore. My legacy's dead.
I don't even think they make them anymore.
Well, I know if you go to
in
like,
my throat.
listen, if you go to like Best Buy, now
Can you get like the latest movie on DVD? Like whatever's in
I
the
don't
movie
think
theater
so.
right now.
I
There's a
don't-
new Ghostbusters movie. Can you get it on DVD? if you
No,
want
I
it?
don't think so. I don't think so.
I think you can actually. I take it back because
Okay.
you know what? For
Mm.
Christmas, my dad bought my 90-year-old grandpa all the DVDs of Yellowstone.
Okay.
And I was very
Okay.
surprised by that all the seasons of Yellowstone were on DVD. And I was
Yeah.
also surprised that he was giving them to my 90-year-old grandpa, who's very grumpy and probably won't like the content on Yellowstone. But
Or maybe he will, because John Dutton is a hard ass. Maybe he'll be like, fine, Lisa.
There's no such thing as dying of old age. Something kills us all.
Someone, a real man. And then there's Shawn who's crying about something. Anyway, back to the list, Shawn.
you want me to keep going?
Well, what are we at now again?
Oh, yeah, we're on number 3. 3D televisions and even 3D movies. This is the one that stood out to me most because it wasn't that long ago. Any movie you went to, there was a 3D option, and now there's not. It's just
There's
gone.
not. You are right. And I have never really thought about that. But you're right. You used to get the glasses and then you'd throw them in the little thing on the way out. We never did 3D movies because it always gives me a headache. And so if we would accidentally buy a ticket and be like, son of a, it's a 3D movie. But yeah, that's something that's totally, and I also think like, on Back to the Future 3 or 2, when they go to the future, have you never seen Back to the Future 2?
Hello? Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think McFly, think.
I don't think think so. Michael J. Fox
Okay.
doesn't do it
So
for me.
this podcast is over. I'd like to thank you for these episodes, but we cannot be friends anymore. Well, then you won't even get this joke because the technology, it's Back to the Future 2 technology that you won't understand.
Well, everyone listening will, so go ahead and tell it.
Well, there's this one part where he's like kind of in the middle of town and there's a Jaws movie coming out. It's like Jaws 64 because it's been so long. And out of this billboard comes this giant shark. And Michael J. Fox, who is, of course, from the 80s, is like, what is this? There's a giant shark about to eat me. He freaks out. And I thought there would be more of that. Like, especially in Times Square. Times Square is overwhelming, but only because of all the electronic stuff. There's nothing reaching out to grab people. Damn, that's my dream
I was watching
job.
this TikTok video yesterday and it scared the shit out of me. And this is what it said in a nutshell. And some people have seen this because it's been viewed like 70,000 million times. So it says that the next like COVID sort of thing that the government is going to
No,
plant on
don't
us
scare
is
me.
they have created, and it was this general, not the one that I know, a different general.
That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot.
But he went into this warehouse and they turn on the lights and there's this spaceship in the distance, like an alien looking spaceship. And he goes to walk up to like look at it and they're like, you can't actually touch that. It's not real. They're like, he's like, what do you mean? It's hologram technology, but it looks so real that you can't tell that it's not real. And so what he says the government is planning to do is to have a UFO attack happen over
But
the
that's not
skies
real, but it's not
of
real.
big cities, but they have hologram technology that looks so real that the people will buy it and people are going to go crazy and it's going to cause society to collapse. And all it is one big movie that looks so realistic in the sky that people believe it.
No, but I think that probably on top of the clouds, I'm no government official, but I'm assuming they're going to put like snipers and stuff and those cha, 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 because I bet they're going to kill a bunch of people. And then they're going to be like, it was an alien attack, but they were really thinning the herd. People like me who probably wouldn't run that fast. And I'd be like, well,
you stay in your house, you'll be fine. You're probably going to be the safest one. It's everybody else. It's like, got to go see the aliens.
I
Let's
know.
go
And I'll be like,
downtown.
we need to go the other direction and not be near the alien.
If all of a sudden there's an alien attack in the next 5 years happening somewhere, don't go towards it. Because it's probably just a big giant movie that's created with hologram technology.
If you're going to learn one thing today, I want you to listen to Shawn about.
I don't have a tinfoil hat. I'm just telling you what I saw on TikTok. I'm not saying I believe it. I'm not saying I don't believe it. I'm saying I saw it on TikTok. Number 2, the metaverse, which is Facebook's alternative reality virtual space. I do remember hearing about that. That's also one of the things that's too hard for my stupid brain to comprehend. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't get it. I think, you know what? My answer was Crystal Pepsi. Things we thought were going to come back strong AF, and then they didn't.
That's not the
Scrunchies. I thought that would really
that's not
take
the
a bite
list.
out. No, it's stupid shit that we've never heard about. It's like meta AI, and I'm like, Crystal Pepsi.
These were supposed to be the next big thing, but they vanished.
Okay.
The scrunchies were never supposed to be the next big thing, buddy.
Well, they were a big thing at one time,
Yeah,
and then they went away, and they were going to come back, meaning they were whatever. Shawn, let's go.
You're missing the point of this list. All right, the number one thing on the list.
Okay.
Oh, it's a good one. I'm just kidding. It's really not a good one. Google Plus, Google's social network that was supposed to rival Facebook. Were you on Google
hate
Plus?
all of these things. No, I'm not on any of those things. I'm
didn't
barely
say,
on the
are you,
basic
were you?
stuff. Was I? No, I was not. But
Were you on MySpace?
I was on MySpace. That was when it all kind of started, and I really had to get talked into doing it. And I also think it's messed up to this day that you had to pick like 5 of your top friends.
Mine changed every day.
And it was like,
you're out.
Yeah, yes, that's what it was used for. There's no other reason to have that than to just be a big middle finger to the world, because maybe like 10%, maybe 5% of people were truly like, these are my top 5 people, my mom and my grandma and my brother and but for the most part, it was some petty shit where people are like, what'd you just say? Oh, you went and you didn't invite me? You're out of the top 5, and then you bump someone else up.
Casa Bonita, food and fun in a festive atmosphere. Casa Bonita, who said I'm inviting you?
It was always
a good way. It's a good way to show you had a crush on somebody though, because like as it slowly got more serious, you could sneak them into number 5 and then like number 3.
And when it got to number 1, why? Shawn was wearing a tuxedo.
All right, this episode is over.
This episode is open. Thank you to our presenting sponsors, Tallent Co Real Estate. I say this every day because truly it just shocks me knowing, because I've sold a home myself. And well, not myself, but I have gone through the process, and there is so much to take into account. And so that's why you got to work with the folks that truly know what they're doing. Go onto their website, homeandnoco.com. You're going to be able to read all about what they've got going on, what they've got listed. You're going to be able to do 3D tours. Shawn, you're throwing me off. What do you got to say?
Is there more to say than that? You did.
Well, I don't
so
know.
good.
You're
You
moving
always.
so much. Like,
I
stop
apologize to
moving.
Amy and her team because I feel like every day Sadie says all the good stuff. She says all the things about selling your house that you could possibly say, and all the reasons that Amy's so good at it. And then she's like, "All right, Shawn, your turn." And I'm like, "Yeah, what Sadie said."
That's
Because
when
she
you
said
come
it
in with
all.
the clutch, like maybe there's a ghost. I think that'll be my forever favorite Shawn endorsement moment. Maybe you got to sell your house because there's a ghost.
I mean,
Anyway,
I would be selling my house if there was a ghost for sure.
find them on social media, just like you can find us on social media. And we're going to get this copyright situation figured out where we can get these videos. Just look on YouTube and on Facebook. And that's it for today.